Right, here's the deal. You're after a brand new gaming PC, you don't want any of that next-gen console malarkey, but you seem to be stuck between a bit of a rock and a hard place because actually finding the components is incredibly difficult. In this video, I wanted to go through pretty much everything I would do if I was in that situation. We're going to go through all of the best components at a few different price ranges, and if you are in the situation where you're trying to buy something but basically you can't, I'm going to give you advice on what to do. Before we get started, do you hate the idea of being tied down to one single physical location? There are many reasons why you might want to appear in another country, maybe for accessing a certain game or TV show, or because your broadband thinks you're in the wrong place. Like, seriously, mine genuinely seems to think I'm in Croatia a lot of the time. Thankfully, I've partnered up with HMA, or Hide My Ass VPN, and now have no more regrets, regardless of whether I'm at home or out and about. HMA is a non-logging VPN with servers in over 190 countries, with some running up to a blazing fast 20 gigabits a second. It is super easy to get started. Simply download the HMA app on your phone, laptop or tablet and start browsing. Join HMA VPN and have no more regrets, with that link down below. And normally the graphics card is the first component that I will choose, but if you look here on Overclockers UK, then pretty much all of the graphics cards are out of stock, which blows my mind because even things like the 1650, which doesn't really have any real reason to be out of stock, well, is currently out of stock. And this isn't just an Overclockers problem. I mean, here on eBuy, you can at least see pricing and pre-order them, but I mean, well, what does that really mean? Thursday, the 31st of December, that's what, 2 weeks time? Not brilliant. Scan, does this give you any information? Everything's listed as pre-order. We do have one here, there we go. That is crazy. There is one component at the budget end available across 3 websites. Right off the bat, we're going to grab this 5500 XT as it does seem to be our only choice. Let's add this to our list. But when planning for a future build, it is imperative to actually look at that graphics card first, as before you even choose a single component, you need to know what sort of games you're going to be playing, what resolution, and ultimately what settings and frame rate you're wanting to achieve. It's really important to know what you're going to use your PC for and basically buy something that's appropriate and has the horsepower to actually achieve that. Once you've chosen your graphics card, it's then time to move on to your processor, or the CPU, and you need something that's going to be a good pairing for your graphics card, isn't going to hold it back, but likewise isn't going to be way more expensive than it needs to be. There are pretty much 2 main options really. You've got the Ryzen 3600, which I'm sure will get replaced with like a 5600 soon, but to be honest, it's not going to make that much difference really at this level. You can see you can actually get what's known as an OEM CPU and save a little bit of money. This doesn't come with a cooler, so we're going to do that here. And this is a brilliant example of how I plan all of my gaming computers, because you start with that most important graphics card and then you almost do like a waterfall down. So if you haven't, I guess, cottoned on just yet, because we don't have a cooler, you guessed it, the next component we need to choose is a cooler. We've saved around about £30 by not having one in the retail packaging, so we've got around about £30 to spend on an air cooler. And there's quite a few good ones at the moment, and there are clearly quite a lot to choose from. I mean, I've not really used many dirt cheap coolers before. I do always recommend going for something that's a little bit more expensive if you can. I really like the Be Quiet Purex Slim. You definitely could go for a slightly better one with a 120mm fan, but obviously it depends on your budget. It's weird that it says on scan it doesn't support AM4, but then it does on the website. I imagine this is just a later revision. You could always return it, but it's something worth checking. Of course, we're going to need a motherboard, and because this is a AMD CPU, we're going to need either a B450 or B550 board. B550 is definitely good if you want to upgrade to everything in the future. You can see that they're around about £150 or so. I am blown away by the value of this ASRock board though. B550 for £110, so that means you get Gen 4 PCIe, but this one even has Wi-Fi on it as well. Wi-Fi, £110 board. I might buy one for myself. I might actually buy one for myself. Of course, we do also need some RAM, so we go to memory. We've got Vengeance Dummy RAM, so that's not going to do much. But fortunately, there are so many different options here, and most of it is pretty cheap. I think the entry-level option would be a dual-channel kit of 8GB RAM, £42, that would do nicely. But I would usually aim for 16, to be honest, as it's just a lot more suitable for today's gaming and today's apps. So the non-RGB option is around about £75. But if you do want to go for RGB, which will look a little bit better, you can see it is £83.88. Next up, we can go for storage, and even at the budget end, an SSD is pretty much a necessity at this point. They've really come down in price, haven't they? Look, you can get a 500 gig Rocket Gen 4 drive for £87. 250 gig is just going to be way too small. I'd highly recommend that you go for a 500 gig. And here, actually, their Christmas offer seems to be pretty good, to be honest. Crucial's P2, I've used this before, £50, not too shabby at all. We are also going to need a power supply, and I reckon around about a 500 watt is probably going to be about right for this build. But fundamentally, if you're going to upgrade to one of the latest Ampere graphics cards, or one of the 6800 or whatever you want to go for AMD, all of those do use a lot more wattage, so maybe like a 650 or a 750 is going to make more sense if you know this is only temporary. So don't just spend less money now because you don't need to, it's worth thinking about the future. So coming down a little bit, we can see we have this Cooler Master MWE, and I've used one of these and they're pretty good. $37.99, 500 watts. As far as I'm concerned, that is a job well done, which does nicely lead us on to the final component you're going to need to think about, which is the case. And this is very personal, so, you know, don't let other people tell you that that's not nice if you like it. Get what obviously suits your style. But fundamentally, you need to make sure that it does fit both your cooler in. Sometimes the cases can be a little bit narrow. If you're getting a very big graphics card, it's got to accommodate that. If you want to put radiators and loads of fans in, all of that stuff you've got to think about. But the main thing really is just to make sure that the motherboard size actually matches the size of the case, as you can put an ITX motherboard inside a very large case, but you can't put a very large motherboard inside a very tiny chassis. My favourite budget case is actually this one. It is the MSI Mag Forge, and you might be looking at some of these other options and thinking, well, that's actually more expensive, why not go for one of the other ones? But the key thing is that this Mag Forge actually comes with 3 fans as standard, and 2 of them are ARGB, so you're not going to need to upgrade to anything later. It looks really good, there's plenty of airflow. I've used this before, you probably should be seeing some footage of me using it if Future Markers has managed to edit this video correctly, but I really like this and I think it offers fantastic value. It's very easy to build in, and I think MSI, out of nowhere actually, have started killing it in the case game. Total then comes to £789, and that actually includes delivery as well, look. So there's definitely a few things we could cut down a little bit if you wanted to save more money. Everything really in this rig is upgradable. I mean, the only component that is a little bit limiting, I'd say, is that power supply. So while this isn't necessarily going to be the most expensive PC in the world now, the base that you're building on, I think, is excellent. Like, everything in there has you covered for the future. Haven't I done well with my virtual PC that I'm not actually going to buy? Let's up the ante though, as we've still got the mid-range, the high-end, and of course, that lovely PC Centric's choice to do. On the case front, you can go for something a little bit more high-end, around about £80 is probably a good mark. Here we have the 4000D from Corsair, really liked this when I used it. The big change this time round, and hear me out, is that we are going to go for an i5 CPU. So this is the Intel Core i5-10600K. And the thing is, it's almost like the same situation we had with that 3600. Even if you've got better gaming performance out there from like an i9 from Intel or the new Ryzen chips, at this sort of price point, it's not going to translate into better gaming performance for you unless you upgrade to a really high-end graphics card. £248 for this rather cool Avengers looking one. Obviously you're going to need an Intel motherboard this time around, and £1,000 is not required. The MSI Tomahawk boards are really good for the money, £180. There might be some other options like this Gaming Edge, slightly better maybe, £190 for that one. I really like the Carbon, but $250 at this price point doesn't make sense. So yeah, we're going to go for the Gaming Edge, as this actually has built-in Wi-Fi, which is going to be really useful to a lot of people. Obviously you will need some sort of cooling solution as well. You can see the A500, if you could actually get it in stock, is really cheap now and is probably worth picking up. Something like the Hyper 212 doesn't really look good enough for this particular price point. You can get a black edition, which is nicer. But actually, let's go for a little bit of RGB. Let's go for the 212 RGB Black Edition. We use the same RAM that we had in our previous build, as it is cheaper over on Scan at the moment. We'll do the same with the storage, as that was a good deal. And then for the power supply, we're going to aim for around about 650 watts. Here you go, like this RM650, it's currently out of stock, but that's what we're going to be aiming for. So based on the information that we have, this is probably going to be your best bet, CX750F, which brings our total to £789.79, which you're probably thinking is cheaper than the other one, but of course this doesn't actually include the big gaping hole that is the graphics card. But the fact of the matter is, my honest opinion is that unless you need a computer for something that's really important to you, like work, I don't think it's worth getting a gaming computer at all right now if you can't get the main component, which is of course the GPU, because at this price point it's very easy to recommend you either get a 3060 Ti, £369 RRP, fantastic, or of course a 3070 or maybe a 6800 if you want to go up a little bit more into AMD land. Know what graphics card you're going to want to buy and then just check and then buy it as soon as you can. That is probably not very good advice, but it's the only advice I have, to be honest with you. As frustrating as it is, that is the situation we're in right now. So let's assume you do manage to get hold of a Founders Edition 369 for a 3060 Ti, and that'll bring our mid-range PC to £1,158. And assuming you could get hold of all of that, I don't think that's too bad. Am I just rubbing salt in the wound here? Sorry. I'm really trying not to. I definitely made a mistake though, because the high-end build and then PC Centric's choice is pretty much going to blend into one at this stage, so let's move on to our final rig. We'll start with the case again, and we'll use my personal rig, as this is PC Centric's choice, which is of course the Fantex P600S in this lovely gunmetal grey. We will be going for a Ryzen rig this time around, which I know opens a whole nother can of worms, and it's the same situation, but just add the CPU to your try and buy as soon as you can list. It's still not really worth going for X570 unless you want the flexibility of having multiple PCI Generation 4 SSDs. So here we're going to step it up to the MSI Carbon. The CPU in question is the Ryzen 7 5800X. This is 8 cores, fantastic single-threaded performance, and for most people is all the CPU you're ever going to need. We will pair it with a water cooler just to keep the noise levels down, and something like this, the H100i Platinum, is going to be your best bet in terms of looks and performance, really like Corsair's stuff, but it's very difficult to ignore the Cooler Master Liquid ML240L for £70. But let's go with the H100i Platinum for now. We'll boost the RAM up to 3600 MHz and we'll go for a 32 gig kit, as this is PC Centric's choice. Our SSD will definitely be getting the boost to Gen 4 this time around. Let's see what we can find. Not that many options, to be honest with you, but here we have an MP600 for £180. That doesn't seem too bad at all, so we will go with that. Which leaves us with our power supply again, and this time I really would recommend going for 850, as even an RTX 3090 will work with that. I mean, the HX 850 is probably a great bet, but I mean, it's £160 almost. So this 850 is probably going to be what I would go for. Which once again brings us to a total of, obviously a fair bit more this time, £1,459, including the Ryzen processor, but obviously that is without the graphics card. So when you add that in, it is going to start to get a bit more expensive. 6800 XT, RTX 3080, both of those are fantastic choices at the real top end. You don't necessarily need it, but if you're running 4K resolution or maybe an ultra-wide like this, then obviously it probably would make a whole lot of sense. How much is the 3080 meant to be again? £649 if you want that Founders Edition. So let's add that on, and that brings us to £2,109, but obviously a lot of stuff could be cut out there depending on what it is that you're after. But if you're after a super high-end PC that, well, has everything, I don't think there's anything in that rig that is shortchanged, but I don't know, I'm sure you'll let me know down in the comment section below. Maybe some RGB fans, actually, add some RGB fans as well, to call it £2,178 or something, whatever you want to go for. So it is absolutely quite disappointing that if you do want to build a high-end PC at the moment, then it's not really possible. I'm really glad that we managed to do it at the budget end. I can still see it in my basket, it's still in stock. We could buy it. We could do it. Let me know your thoughts on the situation, on the builds that I've put together. I will leave my Amazon affiliate links and of course the overclockers, scan, all of those other links down in the description below if you do want to check it out. And of course, while you're down there, don't forget to check out HMA VPN. HMA is a VPN service that is incredibly easy to use and very simple to get started with. If you care about your privacy and hate the idea of being tracked, then HMA VPN can solve that very problem. By creating a virtual tunnel between your device and your internet access point, you can surf and browse in peace. HMA have super fast service in over 190 countries and are a non-logging VPN, so you can connect and browse with blazing speeds and then work or play with utmost confidence. Join HMA VPN and have no more regrets. Use my link down below and enter code PCCentric20 for 20% off. A massive thank you though for actually watching this video. Smash the like button if you've enjoyed it. It really does help out a lot. You honestly wouldn't believe. Get subscribed for more videos just like this, and if you want to see some builds come to life in real life, you can find them in the end screen. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.